Hi, this is a webinar on the general settings in the Setup tab in the ThinkWave Solo Gradebook. First, click on the Setup tab. The Setup tab is where you have all the different settings where you can customize the ThinkWave system for your needs. We're going to cover the general settings in the video. The other settings will be covered in other videos. First, click on Files. This is where the files that have been uploaded to the system can be found. The ThinkWave Premium Gradebook has 100 GB of storage available for the files that have been uploaded to the system. This includes the files of assignments that students have uploaded. You can see how much space has been used and how much is left at the top here. And the files can be downloaded or deleted here by selecting them and clicking the Delete tab. Now we'll go back to the Setup tab and look at grade levels. Grade levels can be edited, deleted, or created as needed. So if you don't need to use a certain grade level, or any grade level standard in ThinkWave, they can be deleted by clicking on the delete icon at the bottom left. You can select here if you don't want the grade level to be included in transcripts. So for instance, since most schools don't include grades K through 8, you can choose to not include them in the transcripts by ticking the box here. There's also the ability to create custom fields that only apply to certain grade levels. For instance, if you want to keep certain data for just kindergartners, you can select that here. You can create new grade levels by clicking Create New Grade Level at the top and enter the information here. You can create anything such as freshman, sophomore, or any grade level that you use for your school. Now we'll go back to the Setup tab and look at groups. Groups are an optional feature that you can use to create groups of students. This is helpful in a couple ways. For instance, if you have a core group of students that are all enrolled in the same classes, like 4th grade B, you can create a group called 4th grade B and put all the students in that group there. And when you're enrolling students in courses, you can choose only that group. You can see this by going to the Classes tab and click on the Edit link next to Enrollment on the right-hand side. And you can select specific groups in the pull-down menu on the left. Then you can easily enroll all of them by clicking on the top Enroll button. Additionally, a lot of the report screens allow you the ability to sort the students by groups. You can see this by clicking on Reports, and under Custom Reports, click on Groups. You can select the group here. So if you want to print out reports for only 4th grade B, you can do that. Go back to Groups, and in the Setup tab, you'll also have the ability to create custom fields for just that group. So if you need to keep data for only students in a certain group, you can add that here. And there is also the ability to enroll students in a group here. Back to the Setup tab, and now click on Lock and Unlock. This gives you the option to lock the data in a school year. So that way, when a school year is finished, you can lock the data so it can't be changed. But if you need to go back and make any adjustments, you still have the option to unlock it. Back to the Setup tab, and click on Rollover. This is the Rollover function to create a new year for your gradebook. This will copy over selected students, classes, and settings. Students will be moved to the new appropriate grade level, courses, groups, and custom fields are also copied, as well as many of the settings. First, select which direction you want to roll the data over to. You can roll over to the next year, or you can roll over to previous years and enter historical data. You can do this at any time. So for instance, if you want to start setting up the new school year early, you don't have to wait for the school year to end. We will roll forward to the next year. Here's where you can adjust or confirm the start and end dates for that school year and semesters. You can change this later after the school year has been created, so don't worry if you run into issues with selecting the dates. Now click Next. Here's where you select the default action for rolling over the grade levels. Since we're rolling forward, all the grade levels should roll over to the next grade. So 1st grade to 2nd grade, 2nd grade to 3rd grade, etc. You also have the option for students without grade levels assigned to leave it that way. And finally, for students graduating out of the school, you can select Do Not Copy Student. Make sure all the fields are filled out. Once complete, select Next. Here you can select either Copy Class Enrollment or Do Not Copy Class Enrollment. Since in most cases students have to enroll in new classes for the new year, You typically wouldn't want to copy class enrollment, but you have the option to copy the enrollment for all the classes or just select classes if you want to. Here you can select whether to copy group enrollment, so for instance, baseball or band. Here you can select whether to copy the custom fields created. Since most of these custom fields do not change, you would want to select to copy. If the field is associated with a custom group and you are not copying that group, then you will want to select to not copy the custom field as well. Like for instance, we will not copy the data for the group athletes, but since it's associated with the custom field of uniforms, then you will want to make sure to not copy the uniforms as well. When all the fields have been entered, select Next. Now you have the chance to finalize and complete the rollover. If you want to change any of the rollover data, you can click on the links to that section here. Once the rollover is complete, select the new year from the top right pull-down, and you can browse all of the data to make sure that it's correct. Once you feel all of the data is correct, select Certify Rollover from the pull-down menu. Select that the start and end dates are correct, although you still have the ability to change this even after certifying the rollover. Then select that the students, grade levels, and custom fields have been copied correctly. And here you can select whether to make a new year available to students and parents. So for instance, if you want to turn on access to the new year after the current year is complete, then you can select to not provide access. Then select to finalize the rollover and click Finalize. And finally, back to the Setup tab, and select School Name and Address. This is where you can change your school name and motto. You can display that on report cards and transcripts by selecting that in the settings. We'll go into more detail about that in another video. And here you can enter the address, phone, and email, and those are included in the report card. And these are the general options available in the Setup tab in the ThinkWave Solo Gradebook. Thanks for watching.